you want the distraction of security instability in your region. So my hope is that over time, trust develops between the two countries, that dialogue begins, perhaps on less controversial issues, building up to more controversial issues, and that over time there's a recognition that India and Pakistan can live side by side in peace, and that both countries can prosper. That will not happen tomorrow, but I think that needs to be our ultimate goal. Okay. And by the way, the United States stands to be a friend and a partner in that process, but we can't impose that on India and Pakistan. Ultimately, India and Pakistan have to arrive at their own understandings in terms of how the relationship evolves. Okay, I've got time for one more question. It's a guy's turn.
My question would be when you were being elected as president, one of the words you used a lot was change. After your midterm election, the midterm polls that did take place, it seems that the American people have asked for a change. The change that you will make, how exactly is it going to affect young India, people from my generation?
That's an interesting question.
Thank you.
The United States has gone through probably the toughest 2 years economically as we've gone through since the 1930s. I mean, this was a profound financial crisis and economic shock, and it spilled over to most of the world. India weathered it better than many countries, but most of the work that I did with Prime Minister Singh in the first 2 years in the G20, we were focused on making sure that the world financial system didn't collapse. And although we've now stabilized the economy, unemployment in the United States is very high now, relative to what it typically has been over the last several decades. And so people are frustrated. And although we're making progress, we're not making progress quickly enough. And one of the wonderful things about democracy is that when the people are not happy, it is their right, obligation, and duty to express their unhappiness, much to the regret sometimes of incumbents. But that's a good thing. That's a healthy thing. And my obligation is to make sure that that I stick to the principles and beliefs and ideas that will move America forward, because I profoundly believe that we have to invest in education, that will be the primary driver of growth in the future, that we've got to invest in a strong infrastructure, that we have to make sure that we are taking advantage of opportunities like clean energy. But it also requires me to make some mid-course corrections and adjustments. And how those play themselves out over the next several months will be a matter of me being in discussions with the Republican Party, which is now going to be controlling the House of Representatives. And there are going to be areas where we disagree, and hopefully there are going to be some areas where we agree. Now, you asked specifically, how do I think it will affect policy towards India? I actually think that the United States has an enormous fondness for India, partly because there's so many Indian Americans, and because of the shared values that we have. And so there is a strong bipartisan belief that India is going to be a critical partner with the United States in the 21st century. That was true when George Bush was president. That was true when Bill Clinton was president.